In the summer of 1518, the cobblestone streets of Strasbourg, a bustling town in the Holy Roman Empire, became the stage for one of history's most bizarre and inexplicable events. What began as an innocent jig spiraled into a deadly epidemic, leaving historians and scientists baffled for centuries. This is the story of the dancing plague of 1518, a chilling reminder of the fragile boundary between the human mind and the mysteries of the body. It all started in July when a woman, known only as Frau Trophäa, stepped into the streets and began to dance. Her movements were rhythmic yet involuntary, as if her body were under the spell of an unseen force. Neighbors watched in fascination and then in horror as her dance continued for hours, seemingly without pause. By the next day she was still dancing, her body drenched in sweat and her face a grimace of exhaustion. Within a week, her strange affliction spread. Dozens of townspeople joined her, their feet pounding the cobblestones day and night. The once cheerful rhythm turned haunting as the dancers' feet blistered, their muscles spasmed, and their faces contorted in pain. Yet they could not stop. By the end of the first month, the dancing plague had consumed nearly 400 people. The town square, once a hub of trade and conversation, transformed into a macabre dance floor. Panic swept through Strasbourg as the townsfolk struggled to comprehend the spectacle. Was this the work of the devil, divine punishment, or some new and terrifying illness? The town's leaders, desperate to curb the outbreak, turned to the best medical advice of the time. Physicians ruled out supernatural causes, blaming the epidemic on hot blood, an imbalance of bodily humors. Their prescribed cure? More dancing. The city constructed stages, hired musicians, and encouraged the afflicted to dance the madness out of their systems. Instead of relief, this approach worsened the situation. The relentless dancing continued, and exhaustion began claiming lives. The human body is not designed for unceasing motion. As days turned into weeks, many dancers collapsed from sheer exhaustion. Some suffered heart attacks or strokes. Others succumbed to dehydration and starvation. Accounts from the time describe bodies littering the streets, their owners having danced themselves to death. Yet the plague showed no signs of abating. Witnesses spoke of the haunting sight, people writhing and twirling, their faces locked in expressions of pain and terror. The sound of bare feet slapping against stone became a chilling backdrop to daily life. Families mourned as loved ones succumbed to the mysterious compulsion, powerless to intervene. Even centuries later, the dancing plague of 1518 remains a mystery. Scholars and scientists have proposed several theories to explain this macabre phenomenon, each as fascinating as the event itself. One of the most widely accepted explanations is that the dancing plague was a case of mass psychogenic illness. In times of extreme stress, fear, or uncertainty, communities can experience collective psychological reactions. Strasbourg in 1518 was rife with hardships, famine, disease, and religious upheaval. The dancing may have been a desperate, unconscious expression of these pressures. Another compelling theory is ergotism, caused by consuming rye contaminated with ergot fungus. This fungus produces compounds similar to LSD, potentially causing hallucinations, convulsions, and erratic behavior. While ergotism explains some symptoms, it doesn't fully account for the prolonged and organized nature of the dancing. Medieval Europe was deeply religious, and mystical beliefs often influenced behavior. Some suggest the dancers were enacting a ritualistic frenzy, perhaps inspired by Saint Vitus, the patron saint of dancers and epileptics. The event may have been a form of choreomania, linked to religious ecstasy or penitence. The sight of others dancing uncontrollably may have triggered a sort of psychological contagion, compelling more people to join in. In a tightly knit community, the power of suggestion could have amplified the phenomenon. By late September, the dancing plague began to subside as suddenly as it had started. City authorities, having exhausted medical remedies, turned to the church for help. The dancers were loaded onto wagons and taken to a shrine dedicated to Saint Vitus in nearby Saverney. There, they were prayed over and given red shoes consecrated in holy rites. Miraculously, the dancing ceased. The town of Strasbourg was left to recover from the physical and emotional toll of the plague. Families mourned their dead, and survivors bore the scars, both physical and psychological, of the ordeal. The event faded into legend, its true causes shrouded in mystery. The dancing plague of 1518 serves as a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of mind, body, and society. It highlights how collective stress and belief systems can manifest in extraordinary ways. While modern science has advanced significantly, the human psyche remains as enigmatic as ever, capable of producing phenomena that defy explanation. In our era of global uncertainty and rapid change, the tale of Strasbourg's ill-fated dancers holds valuable lessons. It urges us to seek balance, address stress, and approach the mysteries of the mind with humility and curiosity. The story of the dancing plague continues to capture imaginations, inspiring artists, writers, and researchers alike. Its eerie combination of tragedy and absurdity feels almost surreal, a darkly poetic reminder of humanity's vulnerabilities. As you read this tale, imagine the echo of footsteps on cobblestones, the rhythm of an unseen force compelling bodies to move, and the enduring question, what truly happened in Strasbourg that fateful summer? Perhaps, somewhere in the overlap of history, science, and myth, the answer lies, waiting to be unearthed by those brave enough to dance into the unknown. That's all for today. If you want to know more stories like this, subscribe to my channel.